Well, perhaps the coolest, most expensive Camaro ever built was a '69 ZL1. During the peak, they were almost $1 million. Today, they're still $500,000. They only built 69. Well, one of our good customers asked us if we could do some aluminum panels for a ZL1 clone. So we're actually made some aluminum door skins that we're going to bond to this steel frame here. We've got some neat products, and this is best practices for panel adhesion. Doesn't matter if it's aluminum or steel, the process is the same. Well, the first step is to make sure that both panels are nice and clean, but you don't want to ever mix up the disc. We're going to start with a 50 grit on the steel. Now you want to make sure that you switch up the discs because you're never going to mix an aluminum and a steel grinding disc. This one we're going to go with an 80 grit. Once you're finished that, you're just going to blow off the panels. Now we're ready to test fit it. What we're going to do is do it first dry, make sure that everything fits right. Just a couple clecos. Once we've done a dry run, we'll take the panel back off, blow it off one more time, and then we're ready to apply the acrylic metal bonding adhesive, and we're good to go. With this door skin application, Norton's got two products. They've got a 45 and 75 minute metal bonding product, which is an acrylic, and then for just about everything else, they got a 90-minute epoxy bonding. It'll do just about anything. Either one of these, the application is roughly the same. Well, the acrylic metal bonder has great corrosion-resistant properties, but you're going to want to put on a set of latex gloves. The problem is, it also sticks to your hands really well. Here at Legendary, we do full physicals before you start. Now you're going to purge the system again. Whoa, that came out fast. Make sure it's coming out equally. Once you're sure of that, you're going to screw on the applicator. We're also going to make sure it's coming out even. Here we go. Once we got color, we're good to go. Now we're going to lay a bead right along the entire panel edge. You're going to want to work around both panels. It doesn't have to be a heavy bead. You're going to want to do the same on the door skin. Just a nice uniform bead all the way down. Then your next step is you're going to take an acid brush and just start wiping it. Just making sure we got good coverage right to the edge. The nice part of either one of these systems is you have some time. This is a 45-minute system. And you also have a 75-minute system if you're doing a bigger panel. I'm just going to make sure, because this thing is a great corrosion resistant product, you want to make sure that you cover all of the bare metal with the material. The other nice thing about this material is it's a weld through material, so if you want it to weld it as well, you're more than capable of doing it with it. For the extra 10 seconds it takes to go over it twice, we'll just make sure that this thing doesn't, especially bonding aluminum and steel, you want to make sure it's covered nicely. Then what you're going to do is lay one more bead around the door frame edge. We're just going to make sure that we got a nice bead along here, just so we have some clamping pressure. All right, we're ready to go. So now we've got some time, but you can't apply it twice. You can move it around, but you can't lift it and break the bond. So we're going to grab the panel. We'll try and get this as right as we can. We're going to just put the clecos in. We'll use that to hold it initially. Once all the clecos are in, we're going to use now some vice grips basically. The other nice thing about this product is you can't over clamp it. It's got glass beads in it that keep it at the correct distance. What you're going to do is wipe off the excess, because the excess will never get hard. The only time it bonds is that when it's between two pieces of metal that have been sanded, you know, somewhere between 30 and 80 grit. So if the edges aren't 100% dry after, you know, a couple hours, then don't worry about it. Just wipe off the excess. And the important part is in between the two pieces of metal. It's rock solid. So after an hour and a half, you can take off the clamps. After 8 hours, it's fully cured. That's best practices for metal bonding.